Hi guys, happy Tuesday. I'm shaking. What the hell? Okay, so our next festival is in Bulk. Show Candlemass. Fire Festival. I hate the word in Bulk. Pisses me off. I don't know why. Just hate it. I do. So it's February 2nd. So here's a little history. Thank you, Traditional Witch Forum. You're amazing. Everything that you guys post. I love it. So, alright. This pagan festival was Christianized as the purification of the Virgin Mary in the temple after childbirth. So it is also known as Candlemass, and this derives from the old pagan custom of lighting torches in honor of the winter goddess. The church adapted the torches of the lighting of the candles for the Virgin Mary, and having a special mass to bless the candles to be used in church over the coming year. So Imbolc gets its Gaelic name from the first milking of the ewes, which was a sign that spring was on its way. So some traditional witches called this the Festival of Lights or the Quickening. Isn't that a movie too? Why am I shaky? Why am I that shaky? Like my whole entire... It's so windy. There, I should not shake now. Still shaking, right? Or is that just me? I think that's just me. It's probably just me. So, I don't know why I'm freezing either. Alright, so, in the traditional craft, in Bulk, or the Festival of Lights, is a time of birth, purification, and initiation. It is a time for spring cleaning, both physically and spiritually, and driving out the spirit of the old year. Some do this by banishing ritual and cleansing the circle, meeting the ground, or their own space, sacred space, with salt afterwards. So this is also traditionally the last outing of the wild hunt. So if the ritual is done outdoors, then some leave the site to the sound of a horn, and making wild noises, reenacting the wild hunt in full cry. So the festival is sacred to the Celtic solar and fire goddess Brigitte. So, and also she was Christianized, of course, Saint Bridget. So, she was Christianized as Saint Bridget, or Saint Bride, and was said to have been the midwife and foster mother of Jesus. So in the legend of Saint Bridget was said to have been born neither within the house nor outside it. So her mother having given birth to her with 1 foot outside the door and 1 foot inside the door. The in-between times. So the link to Saint Bridget being a goddess form in liminal space is too obvious. She was the goddess of in-between time between winter and spring. So the goddess Bridget had many attributes. She ruled sacred fire, healing, prophecy, poetry, childbirth, smithcraft. She may be linked with another Celtic goddess, Briganitha, Mighty Queen, who was once worshipped in northern Britain, and also with the Morrigan, the triple battle goddess, death and sexuality. Cool, huh? I think it's very cool. Very cool. I love Fire Festival histories. It's just incredibly amazing. So, to some crafters, Brigitte, I always want to say Brigitte. I don't know where that comes from. I don't know why I said Brigitte. So, to some crafters, Bridget has an important role as the bright goddess. Where'd I go? Yeah, she's the bright goddess. So, as such, she allegedly personifies the right-hand spiral. She is the female polarity of the creative energy which surrounds the earth and is focused at specific sites on its surface. Holy wells and sacred springs were dedicated to Bridget, once it was determined they could not be contained by the Sicilic evil, which is released from Mother Earth. The old people of our islands knew that pure and chaste goddess was the mother of both inspiration and destruction. Love, poetry was an inspiration were actively fostered and heightened by tapping the lays at appropriate times. And ley lines. Do you guys know what those are? You can take dowsing rods the old way. the old dowsing rods. Me and my dad, we used to take dowsing rods and we used to find water that way, water witching. That's what we call it here. And so my dad actually introduced me to the ley line thing, the tapping. So with the rods, you can actually find where the water is, where these sacred lines are, or sacred spaces. You can use your intuition. You can use a pendulum to find these sacred spaces. I have a lot of stuff on Imbolc. I love Imbolc for some odd reason. So, Candlemass. I like Candlemass. So, the lays at appropriate times. Okay, the primary symbol of Bridget is the sun wheel or fire wheel, and it is a version of the ancient swastika that represents the cosmic life force. So the swastika, fuck you Hitler, was never his symbol. It's an occult symbol. It is a symbol of, what did I just say? The sun wheel. Yes. It's funny. Oh, the life force. It represents the cosmic life force. So with the different, the way it's created and, crafted. So, Bridget's sun wheel flows left to right in the diesel movement of the sun, unlike the reverse Nazi version. So yeah, it's completely different. Okay, the sun wheel appears in the celebration of Imbolc and is made from interwoven rushes, and it's hung above doors, windows, and cradles to ward off evil. And I actually have mine still from 2010, and it hangs right above my. It's beautiful, it really is, and I still have my Bridget, whatever, corn doll. So I made, I always go. I love Candlemass, candles, all of us. Who doesn't? So I still have all of that. I'll show you guys here in just a minute. So yeah, it does ward off evil. So in country lore, it is said that the adder first stirs from its nest on Candlemas Day. An old Scottish rhyme says, "Today is the day of bride. The serpent shall come from the hole, the queen will come from the mound. I will not molest the serpent will not molest me." It sounds horrible, I know. So this symbolizes the emergence of the spring goddess from the hollow hill of the underworld. The serpent is the symbol of the earth energy that once more starts to flow throughout the land, fertilizing and revitalizing it with new life. So that's the behind the rhyme. So in Celtic mythology, the dark season from Samhain to Candlemas is ruled over by the Cailleach, or Old Woman. She is said to live on Ben Nevis, and on winter's night she washes her plaid until it is white. And this act brings the first snow to the mountain. She also has a blasting rod, or blackthorn, stang or staff, which she uses to blast the vegetation, which brings the leaves tumbling down and raises winter storms. She and Bridget are two aspects of the goddess, of the one who dwells below in the dark, mother, and the one who dwells above, the universal goddess of the stars. And that's kind of funny too, because right now we are getting blasted literally with all this rain and wind, and last night we got blasted with snow, and it's perfect fitting, very, very fitting synchronicity right there. I love it. So sometimes traditions hold that the Cailleach and Bridget are the same, are one and the same goddess. So on Candlemas Eve, the Cailleach travels to the land of Ever Young, and there finds a well of youth. She drinks from it and is transformed into a beautiful maiden, and her black blasting rod turns into a white healing wand. At a touch of this healing wand, the grass turns green and the snowdrops begin to blossom. I love that. That is amazing. That is so cool sounding. So, wherever you are on Imbolc, remember, spring is coming. And this is from Traditional Witch, the forum, 2006. So, just very amazing. very amazing. So it's February 2nd. How cool. How cool was that? So, now I do have a bunch of stuff. Yes, I have been doing some reading. Karen, my top one. Alright, so, Candlemass. I have so much in here on Candlemass, you guys. Alright. I did a lot for Candlemass. I always do. Okay, so. Alright, here we go. Candlemass prayers. So, okay, so we'll start with, this was back in 2013. So, alright, Candlemass prayers. So, fertility of the mind, body, and spirit, purification, the dreariest of festivals. If it be a bright Candlemass, summer is well on its way. So, sun wheels, torches, bonfires are all sacred to the goddess Bridget. And here's the old Scottish rhyme again. Today is the day of bride. The serpent shall come from the hole, the queen will come from the mound. I will not molest the serpent will not molest me. And we all know what that means now. So, the spring goddess coming from the hollow hill of the underworld, the serpent, symbol of the earth energy, that once more starts to flow through the land, fertilizing it and revitalizing it with new life. So, it's also a very sexual time. A very sexual time. You can see it in nature. So, banishing rituals are performed to drive out the spirit of the old year. So, it's a time of birth, purification, and initiation. Festivals of light or the quickening. Traditionally, the last outing of the wild hunt. I already went through that. The dark goddess blasts vegetation, bringing life, and the goddess of in-between time. So, last 2012, when I did this, when I actually big time celebrated Candlemass, I did a giant Candlemass wheel, which I thought was really cool looking. I took a bunch of candles, and if you guys can see right there on the left, this right here, that was my how my candles were set up. So that was my setup for the entire Candlemass, and it was very, very cool. So here's a verse from Candlemass. I don't know where this came from. So, when sleep blinds you, hail drowns out voices, and snow hides your path, may you discern in each flake a star, image of the one that guided the Magi, and find that in the pain of birth, death, or change, there is a light to guide you. So I just kind of, I just like that one. It's very reassuring. It's very, very nice. It's a very good one. Alright. So here's an invocation of Bridget. So this one says, come to us as the cup of healing. Draw for us blessings from her holy well. Come to us as the foster mother. Hearth of comforts, with bounty and plenty. Come to us as the woman of skill. Herb craft and leech craft for the folk's good. Come to us as the hammer of the forge, power of shaping by fire and by water. Come to us as the good black iron blade of the warrior, the sickle and the plowshare. Come to us as the silver bright light of the artisan making of beauty. So, I really like that. It's just a time of renewal and just all kinds of amazing stuff that you can do. Come to us as the harp of the poets, a fire in the head, wisdom and cheer. Come to us as the bard's bright song. Joy in the hall and memory clear. Come to us as the witch's spell, power and mystery, the song of the year. O Bridget the skillful, O Bridget of the triple spirits, O Bridget who comes in light and shadow, thrice blessed be your flaming path. Bridget, accept our sacrifice. So, the sacrifice can be, actually the sacrifice for that is a dolly, an actual dolly made of corn stalk. That's what I do it. I use tortilla shells, corn. You can go to the Latino store and you can buy corn stalk to where you actually wrap tortillas in them. They're really good, actually, but that's besides the point. Now I'm really hungry for tortillas. You can go to the Latino store and you can get a huge bag of those corn stalk or corn. I don't know what it is. It's like a corn stalk, kind of something like that. So that's what I did. And you can also make little puppets as well. You can make them out of dough, and then you can sacrifice it. I think everybody eats a little piece of it, and then they sacrifice it. So, very cool. Very cool. Alright, so here's another Bridget, kind of a chant or invocation. So, in a night of lit white candles, a darkness turned into light. Everything she touches changes. Feast of waxing flame, fire of heart and hearth, fire of the mind, flickering of spark, quickening of air, warming into inspiration, thawing in her innocence, show of snow and into desire. She shines for all of us. She burns within us all. Spiral heat of life. She shines for us all. Within us, she burns the fires to create. She shines in all of us. She burns us all within. Awakening, arising in her need, she shines for all of us. She burns with us all, within us all. Her candle is your only source. So yeah, here's another Candlemass verse. Just tons of obviously I love Candlemass, so here's one more verse. A little old rhyme. So, alright. Make gray veils wrapped up old wise woman, Mother Earth in winter plumage. This is the moment. The sun rises, a sky in all the colors of cold and silence. A flame of warmth breaks. Cuts through fog and rags. This is the moment. Unbreakable rare, it pokes upwards. Bud of snow and spring green. The young bride as forever endless, nourished by the first ray of the sun. This is the moment. I hear in the stable the birth bleeding, weeping the feast. Song on Mother Earth. This is the moment. Some really interesting stuff. Very interesting stuff. And I usually invoke Pan when I'm doing all that good stuff, so yep. I love Candlemass. It's just seriously very, very amazing. So that was a little bit of information on Candlemass, which is coming up. I hope that we can all do like a group ritual, which I think would be amazing. Always. Am I turning colors? Yes, I am. I was turning colors. Just strange camera. So yes, I think it'll be fun if we could all do like something fun, a small Candlemass celebration together. For purification, basic purification, all that good stuff. So, you can make sun wheels. It's a great time to purify yourself using the singing bowl. You can do, actually you can take, if you go outside and you get some, I know pine needles really suck. Blue spruce doesn't fall apart like regular pine tree does. So if you do go, you can actually make kind of like with pine needle, kind of a rejuvenation type thing. So you can do that with pine needles. Just all kinds of spring herbs, rosemary, lavender, oh god, what else? All kinds of rose quartz. You can do all kinds of stuff, and it's fun. It's very fun. So I'm going to try to get some more information here, because my mind is just totally blank. Candlemass. What do you guys do for Candlemass? Anything fun? Anything? Oh, I didn't know Candlemass was a band. Oh. Oh, okay. Candlemass is also a band. Yeah. It's not something that I would listen to at all. Never. No. Hell no. Sorry, I just wouldn't. Alright, so Candlemass. Let's see. Alright, Candlemass, also known as the Feast of the Purification of the Blessed Virgin Mary and the Feast of the Presentation of our Lord Jesus, is a Christian holiday commemorating the presentation of Jesus at the temple. Falls on February 2nd, which is traditionally the 40th day of the Christian Epiphany season. While it is customary for Christians in some countries to remove their Christmas decorations on the 12th night, which I did the 12 days of Yule, which, boom, done, falls on Epiphany Eve, which is the 12th night. Those in other Christian countries historically remove them on Candlemas. On Candlemas, many Christians, especially Anglicans, Methodists, Lutherans, and Roman Catholics, also bring their candles to their local church, where they are blessed and then used for the rest of the year. So, what do they use them for? Taking our traditions. I think I got into the wrong thing here. Yeah, I totally got into the wrong thing. So yeah, this feast, the Christian version is only recently pretty new. 4th century AD in Jerusalem. So it's fairly new. So yeah, that's very, very new for Christianity anyway. Right. So. Right, among the Celts, the pagan celebration of Imbolc, Candlemas, occurred on the 1st of February. No, it was the 2nd, sorry. This was the day of the goddess Brigit, and was associated with purification and fertility at the end of winter. Peasants would carry torches and crosses in the fields in procession, praying to the goddess to purify the ground before planting. So in churches, the torches were replaced by blessed candles, whose glow was supposed to take away evil and symbolize that Christ is the light of the world. They would take the candles to their homes to bring protection in their homes. Ooh. Big shift in barometric whatever. I felt that. That, or I don't know. This male spirit has been bugging me. I don't know. Every single night I'm meditating and he's right here beside me. Don't know what it is. Okay, anyways. Where did I go? Alright, then they would take the candles home. So in 1372, this celebration will also be associated with the purification of Mary at the temple. So, crepes, with their round form and their golden color, are reminiscent of the sun, an appropriate symbol during Candlemas, as this is the time of the year when the days get longer. It is also the time of the year when the winter seeds begin to grow. So the people therefore use leftover flour to make these crepes. Do you guys know what crepes are? They're amazing. Very good. Symbolizing prosperity for the coming of the year. So the celebration took on a Marian character after the apparition of the Virgin of Candelaria on the island of Tenerife. So in 1497, the conqueror of whatever, celebrated the first Candlemas dedicated to the Virgin Mary. So only in 1497 was Candlemas Christianized, turned and converted and twisted. So. Alright. So yeah, that's basically, just a good overview of Candlemas. it goes back to the 12th to the 18th century. Candlemas was called chandelures in many areas, including the Alps. Ardennes, where the memory of the cult of the bear was still very present. Ours meaning bear in French. So. Oh, here we have Persephone. So in addition, the Festa Candelorum in Rome commemorated the search of the goddess of light, Persephone, kidnapped by the king of the underworld, Hades. So, by her mother, the goddess of life, Demeter, as Persephone was no longer in our world, darkness was everywhere. So her mother used a torch in search, and in the end obtained that her daughter would be on Earth and Olympus for 2/3 of the year, the light period, and in the other world, Hades, for the third of the time, winter season. So the festival of candles symbolizes the return of the light. So February takes its name from the Latin verb febuere, which means purification. Christianity has therefore placed the feast of the purification of the Virgin at this time. The purification is question. In question is the departure of winter darkness. The myths of Sleeping Beauty, for example, relate to the release of liberation, the light, dawn of the year by solar night. Very cool. Never would have even taken Sleeping Beauty into consideration with the waking of spring and all that. Alright. So, wow. Candlemas is celebrated everywhere. It's celebrated in the churches on February 2nd, and it's also considered as the day of grapes. That's good. Alright, so to celebrate Candlemas, all candles in the house should be lit. Tradition also says manger scenes should not be put away until Christmas, or Candlemas, which is the last feast of the Christmas cycle. Okay. So, very pagan still. Very pagan. It's very pagan, and yeah. So. And then here in the United States and Canada, the celebration of Candlemas has largely been replaced in the media by Groundhog Day. All kinds of cool stuff. Just old superstitions. I like it. So, alright guys. Pancakes are also a holy or a sacred thing for that day. Pancakes. Instead of crepes, you can make pancakes, which are big pancakes. Very thin, very good. So yes, it's time to shed the winter blues and the sadness and depression that comes with the winter. I get, what's it called? Seasonal depression, especially with all this crap. So, yeah, Persephone is definitely blasting her blasting rod, badass, with all kinds of crazy wind and rain and all this crazy stuff. So, still, I love Candlemas. It's one of my favorites, one of my favorite holidays ever. So yeah, if you guys want, I will do I will create an event. And we can all do it. We have quite a while. It's only the 10th. So, we do have a full moon coming up. I think it's the 12th. And then we have Friday the 13th, which is obviously the 13th. So I think that's very cool. A very lucky day for me and my mom, and a very lucky day. So, alright guys. That is it for today. So, this cold needs to go away. All needs to go away. So, alright guys, I hope you all have a great day. Thank you guys for watching. I'm sorry. My nose itches. And I will see you guys all tomorrow for Witchy Wednesday, definitely. And everybody stay safe. If you're going out, be safe. Be very, 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 very safe. It's crappy out, so I love you all very much. Very, very, very much. And so yeah, let me know what you guys think below. And I will see you guys tomorrow. And I love you all very, very much.